Welcome.
70mm dash cam 4K T800 premium set, 3-channel HDR, 4K HDR, Starvis 2. They're both IMX678 sensors, Sony sensors. We've got here dual Sony Starvis 2 technology, front 4K, rear 4K, 3-channel HDR, 4G compatible. This is where this comes into play. 4G, wonderful. It has Wi-Fi 6 at 5 GHz, built-in GPS and ADAS, smart parking, Guardian mode, and voice control. So you can talk to this camera and it'll do stuff for you. And on the back, 70mm dash cam 4K T800 premium set, product dash cam model T800-41, service, website, manufacturer, the address. The input is 5 volts at 2.4 amps. The screen size is 3 inch. It has an FCC ID approval, which is nice. Some other stuff here, EU, UK, recycling stuff, and then let's have a look inside. So much for the gloves helping. This box seems to have slightly better quality than the A810 or the X800 4K Omni. Nice finish. What's in this? Fantastic. 512 gigabyte memory card. Damn, you really would need that with twin 4K cameras. You're going to chew up quite a bit of space. We'll come back to that. Some manuals. What do we got here? This rear camera is called an RC41. This is a user manual for it. Here we have the user manual for the 4K T800 series. View the user guide by product functions and facts. We'll revisit this manual soon. The electric static stickers for the windscreen. Damn, that's hard to say for me. Take that out. Let's see the installing a dash cam. Read user manual for a more detailed description, and it has a bit of information there that we'll revisit that. I'll go into that. Looks like we've got the spare adhesive stickers for the windscreen and the rear camera. Here we have the cameras. Let's have a look at this one first. This is the most important one. Let's have a look at the rear camera. It seems a bit larger than previous dash cams. Ventilation slots, I guess they're for ventilation. The adhesive pads are already being placed on this camera, so the other ones are spare. Has around the lens IMX678 4K Ultra HD, and on the other side same thing. It's got the same thing written on both sides. So 70mm here. And then coming up here, this is the interesting part. There was a USB-C port, not the old or the other version of their rear camera connector. Now they've gone to USB-C connectors. On here it says it's a 5 volt at 1 amp. That's what it requires. It's a 70mm RC41 rear camera. They call it a mid-drive RC41. I don't know why they call it a mid-drive. Don't know what the QR code is. I don't know how long what I lost then. But so we've got the main camera. To me, it looks like the body of an A510. Not that I have one. I have an A810 somewhere. Now here's an A810, and pretty much the same dimensions, I'd say. The difference being on the A810 versus the T800, the main camera is in the center of the unit, and on this one it's on the side of the unit. Also worth noting is, of course, there's another lens built into the side. That's the internal camera, 1080p, and if we rip this off here, we should see some. Ooh, I don't know if we can. Wow, I can't tell by just looking at it if there's infrared LEDs there. That is so well made. One of the features of this camera has a light sensitive device here. I suspect that when that is blocked, it will turn on the infrared lights on this camera. There they go. So it's got 4 LEDs. I can't see them, invisible to me. That's because they're running in the 900 light range. So if I take my finger off that, let's see if I can get, yep. So it's detected the light has changed, it switched off the infrared. Oh, just another nice little feature. Righto, so how far does this lens rotate if we use this as our straight line? If we use that as our straight line and then start to rotate this. Or maybe on the front lens, this is the 4K lens, it can also move up and down. It's also got this screw fitting on it, some sort of knurled knob. Don't know why, we'll have to look into that as well. It seems to be missing the protective cover. Don't know why. These are first released though, so. And you've got here, it's written on here, 70mm Dashcam, other languages, T800 -41 input 2 volts, input 5 volts, DC at 2.4 amps, FCC code, an IC code, CAN, ICS code, manufactured by 70mm. Up here we have 2 USB ports, 2 USB-C ports. Wow, okay. So we have something worth noting is of the lens, it's got this knurl finish on it. I don't know if my camera is getting that. The knurl finish going around the lens. When you look at the A810, it's not the same, it's different there. See, no knurl. So we've got here the 4 buttons. So we have the power button here, power button here, 4 other buttons. It's not the same as the A810. They look about the same to me. So I'll put this aside. I'll put this guy aside. What have we got here? A little opening here. First thing to note is we have, here's the camera base, or if you like, the foot plate. The foot plate with interlocking tabs. You see how they go on. Place it like this, and then close it by pulling it back or pushing it down. By having this feature, it allows the camera to be removed from the windscreen without having to pull off the 3M tape, which can be quite difficult. And to pull it off would be just to lift the camera. If it was attached to the car, just lift the camera off. So that's quite good. Okay, just want to go back to the USB ports, because my camera stopped recording, of course, when I was doing that. This port is DC in. The other one is AV in, which will be the rear camera. Interesting they call it AV in. I would have thought they'd call it rear camera or something like that. On this side of the camera, a micro SD slot. And the power button and the speaker. the other side of the camera. Now let's see what else is in the box. A trim tool. Cigarette lighter adapter. The top port, 70 mm, surrounded by red, has a red tongue. The other one would be used for miscellaneous, whatever else you've got in your car. Here we have, it's called the mid-drive CC02. It can handle 12 to 24 volts to DC 3 amps output. Camera stopped. Two separate ports. There's 5 volts at 2.4 amps and 5 volts at 2.4 amps. For a maximum of 5 volts, 4.8 amps. We'll check that later. It's interesting, it says 3 amps at the top, then it says a maximum of 4.8 amps. It's also using small dome type connectors to go into the cigarette lighter. I find that makes the unit rock. The unit can rock easier on this, and disconnect the power as it's only pushing down on the base plate. Not a very good design by the manufacturers of the cars who made the cigarette lighter socket, but that's the way it is. And we have here two cables. We have here two cables. That's some substantial cable there. It's actually USB-C, two USB-C, one being a right angle, the other one being straight through. It even has a label on it, it says rear. This is 6 meters long, check that. And then this other cable, in this other cable we have USB-A to USB-C. That will be the power coming from the cigarette lighter socket. We'll be plugging that into here. And then that into the car. And this into the dashcam. And we'll be plugging it into the middle connector, or the one closest to the middle, DC in. That's how we want it. From your car cigarette lighter to power the unit, it goes there. And then from the dash cam, rear camera, versus the cable, you could always reverse the cable and use a straight pin. I'll check the manual and see which one it suggests, or if it does suggest. Probably will. I don't know. Okay, so that's pretty much it. There is nothing else. Usually you can't take that section out. Nothing in there. That's it. That's the unboxing in a nutshell. Yay. So checking the width, checking the diameter and other measurements on this cable. It's got the front logo here, it's got the front tag here, so they expect you to use this for the front. You could have the cable running off the camera like this, have the cable running off like that. You won't be able to do it the other way because it runs straight over the power port, which is a shame because you could have brought this up and made it look tidier, but you can't. You have to run it out like this. It's one of the things I noticed with 70 mm dash cams. They don't do very good cable management out of the top of their cameras. So if we put the power in, you can see what I'm suggesting here is, well, the power can come straight out to go underneath the headliner. This one can't. This one has to loop out or perhaps run along the headliner, which I guess isn't such a big deal. And it's quite a thick cable, 5 mm, so it can't be flexed too much. You don't want to damage this cable. I imagine it's running at a decent speed to transfer 4K video image. And just for some people who are fussy about their fitment, USB connector, total height 18.3mm. The actual bit that's protruding 11.4mm. Length of it 29.3, 29.2, 29.2 length. It's a normal USB connector. Diameter 4.9mm. Diameter of the cable 4.9, say 5mm. And the other end of the cable. The other end of the cable, its width here, 10.8mm, 10.9mm, thickness 6.4mm, total length to the connector 30.8mm, and just the actual connector itself 23.7. That goes to the rear camera. Fucking hell. So we have the front camera. Here's the front camera and the cabin camera, and the rear 4K camera. So we have 4K here, 4K here, 1080p here. The cigarette lighter adapter, a cigarette lighter cable, a trimming tool, the foot plate, and 6 meters of cable run from the front camera to the rear, both USB-C port. Let's power her up and see what she does. Had a little technical difficulty with my camera, so I had to change to another camera. So we're up to formatting. We're running at 4.9 volts, 1.3 amps, 6.5 watts, and the 12 volt side running at 12.8 volts, 0.6 of an amp, 7, nearly 8 watts power. We'll format it. So this is a 512 gigabyte card being formatted. That responded pretty quickly, I must say. It's a large capacity card, so I expect it to take a little while longer than a normal card. Format successful, and we have 3 cameras. Here we have one camera, that's the interior camera, the rear camera, the front camera. Not that it really looks very well, it looks very good. So I'm just going through the different cameras. Doesn't look like I can get it to display just one image. Microphone is off, turn the microphone on. Okay, so we'll move on from that and go back to this. We'll jump into this. Should be to lock videos. Internal recording cam is off. So now that's not to lock video. I'll just move this out the way for a minute. On the side, I'll show you this soon, there's a green button. If we press it once, we turn the screen off, turn the screen back on. If we press it twice, we go into emergency video recording. The power increased a little, power usage increased just a little. Oops. So it's still doing a recording an emergency video. It's 4.934 volts, 1.5 amps. So that's running 3 cameras, 2 of them are 4K. IMX678 Sony sensors on the front and the rear camera. Let's jump into menus. So we've got video settings, system settings. That'll be, it says smart travel, but that'd be the ADAS. Parking surveillance. They're the files that are saved on the SD card. And video settings. System settings, right, so get back to video settings. So video settings, we're back to video settings. Go in there. Video encoding format. It doesn't say what format it's using. It just says high compression, low compression. I find that a little confusing. I'd like to see what it's talking about technically. We'll leave it on high compression. Image specifications. Front cam. We can have 2. We can have 3840, or basically 4K, or the one below it is 1080p. Both of them with HDR. We'll stick with the 4K. The inside camera, we only have one option. It's not really an option, is it? We have HD recording for the internal camera. The back camera, again 4K. Also have the option of bringing it down to 1080p. I don't know why you'd do that. Pointless, I reckon. What else has got in there? So that's all there is. There's just 3 options there. So we'll get out of that. We'll go down. Recording duration. 1, 2 or 3 minutes. Is there any more? No. So you can only have 1, 2 or 3 minutes. There's no 5s or 10s. We'll stick with 1 at the moment. What else we got here? Internal recording camera is on. If we press that, we turn it off. Press that again, we turn it on. Picture quality. Front camera demisting mode. Rear camera transparent mode. Now I don't know what those 2 functions are. And in the 7 pages of the manual, there's nothing written there. So that's something I'll have to look into. That was picture quality, picture in picture. So we have picture in picture, or we can have screen display, which is showing the 3 cameras, or the front cam and the cabin cam, or the front cam and the rear cam. They're all the menus. So there's 3 options. At the moment it's front cam, cabin cam and rear cam. I'd like to be able to switch that while I'm inside when I'm running the camera. Not having to come into a menu. Coming into a menu is annoying. So that was screen display and picture in picture. So we get out of them. Is there any more down here? The logo, we can leave that on. The speed, we'll leave that on. Longitude and latitude, I would normally have that on, but I'm taking that off while I'm doing this. The refresh rate. Now, previous experience tells me that if I put this at 50 Hertz, which is what my mains frequency is in Australia, I'll only get 25 frames per second. I'd prefer to have 30, so I'm leaving it on 60 Hertz. And the 55 Hertz, I believe, is for Japan. We go there, and it looks like we're out of that. Rear recording cam mirroring, so we can rotate the image. We'll leave that alone. Rear recording cam flipping, so we can flip the image depending on how you place the camera on the rear window. Live remote broadcasting always on. I think that might be to do with 4G, and or when you've got the phone connected to the camera directly. So it'll always be transmitting. That's pretty cool. Then we've got system settings. Wi-Fi hotspot. It didn't work. Wi-Fi on startup, yes. Wi-Fi frequency range, 5 gigahertz, because that's what my phone uses. Done those 3 menu settings out of that. Sound, on-off tone, button sound, audio recording, speaker volume, it's at medium. What's it sound like at high? So, ultra low. Let's try ultra low. Back now, we're at a high or medium now. We're back to where it was. Audio recording, speaker volume, and that's the end of those menus. It doesn't have an indication of the amount of menus within the sub-menus. There's no numbering. Screen standby mode, always on. Always on. When I press that, it doesn't really say what it's just done. It just keeps going backwards. So we can have a clock screen by we can have a clock screensaver. We have the screen off. It doesn't have the speedo display for this testing. Auto off when stopped. So never 10 or 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 10, 20, never. I'll leave that on never. Time, manual calibrate the system. I mucked it up earlier, so I need to set the time because when I first started the camera I pressed a button and I couldn't get back. So you need to do that after you need to come back in. You need to come back into the settings to set the time, date and time, if you messed it up at the beginning. So we're in the 6th month. And today is the 11th, I believe. And the time is probably close to that. No, it's way off. It's 1:45. Way off. Oh, we'll go the other way. 45. I'm going to drop the 1, is it? Okay. 1:45 still. Yep. System time has been changed. Save, yes. GPS auto timing, yes. Select the time zone, and in Australia it's 10. Darwin, Sydney, Adelaide, Solomon Islands. Sydney. Select time zone, we're just in there. Then I'll wait there again. Daylight savings, that's pretty neat. Let's see what it does. Just turns it on or off, okay. And then it goes back to manually calibrate. So the daylight savings doesn't really do timestamp daylight savings. System language, well, it's already on English. Date format, my preference is actually date, month, year. Speed, the measure of speed, I like kilometers. Satellite positioning, let's see if it's found any. Yeah, it's found a few. This is inside. That's enough satellites to work out where the car is. I'm back out of that. Download the app. Okay, what's going on? Okay, so it gives us, so the T800 inside its menu gives you the opportunity to scan this so you can download the app to your phone. Then you can control the camera via the phone. It's a nice little touch, really. And about, so at the moment it's running at this, current version is 1.0.115 It was published on the 19th of the 5th, 2025. There is no up and down, that's all there is. We can format the card again. but we're not going to because we've already done it. We could restore factory settings, but we're not going to because it's just new. And then we're back to the beginning. So we jump out of there. The ADAS or smart travel. Emergency videos. Record emergency videos. Oh, yeah. Okay. It actually did it. I don't know why. We're still running at, the voltage is at 4.93. Current is 1.5 amps. It's 7.5 watts, and at 12.8 volts, it's 700 milliamps and around the 9 watts. So we'll go back in the menu. We'll go back over to here. That's where we were. Emergency video. And then we'll go down to sensitivity. It's on medium. I'll just leave it on default. So I'll get out of that. Now ADAS, it'll want to do all sorts of things which you can't do because the camera is on the table. So we'll enable it, but so there's a line ran down the screen splitting it. Keep the front end centered and the horizon within the highlighted area. So we'll just get out of there. We'll have to do that when it's fitted in the car. Voice control is on. The language. Alright, well, we've got various languages here. I'll go through them just because somebody watching this video will be able to identify what the languages are that might suit them. I'm pretty sure that's Italian. Italiano. Okay, so 2 Asian languages, English and Italian. Now that might be updated later because this is the first release of the camera. So we're back to the beginning there. We'll go on to parking now. Probably can't do much in parking because I don't have the car kit or the LTE module attached. 24 hours is fine. Collision detection, oh yeah. So no cables detected, so that won't work. So we get out of that. Motion detection will probably be the same. Yep. We get out of that. Time-lapse recording, same again. If you don't have a hard wire kit, then the parking surveillance features don't enable. Screen display when you're in parking surveillance mode, recording footage, front cam and cabin cam, front and rear, front, cabin and rear. Because I'm using this as a demonstration product, I'll put it on all 3 cams. Multi-camera video will increase device power consumption. Do you confirm? Yes, I do. And we go on. Duration, collision detection. So we're back to the top of the menu. Here we have the album. Entering the album will stop video recording. Continue, yes. So there's 62 videos since I started this demonstration. And they're all really exciting green screen stuff. And you'll notice up here it's saying 1362, 14 of 62. It's showing here it's the rear camera, the front camera, see the F on the top right corner, the C for the center camera or the cabin camera. It's changing the date stamp as well. It's 14508 front camera, 14508 cabin camera, 14508 rear camera. Moving to the next one, and now it's gone down to the 25th. That's because I had to fix the date. So the dates are out of whack because when it first started it didn't have the correct date set. That's videos, emergency videos. So bumping this camera has triggered some emergency recordings. Here we have there at 11, on the 11th of the 6th at 1:47. There was only 6 videos. There's nothing in parking because I don't have it. Time lapse, there's nothing in time lapse. Front cam photo, no photos. Internal cam photos, there's no photos. Rear cam photos, that's pretty cool. Then we go back into video settings, system settings, the ADAS, the parking, the album, and video settings. So we've just gone through the entire menu structure. Well, that's the end of this video, and the next one I'll do will demonstrate video footage with the camera in the car. I may also put this system on my test rig to see how it performs with frame rate tests. Alright, so thanks for watching. I hope that helped. This is the 70mm T800 dual channel 4K IMX678 Sony sensors with the internal cabin sensor at 1080p. That's it. Thanks. Cheers.